The foreclosure crisis has entered Chicago, and experts are saying that this foreclosure crisis will spread across the United States. There's the Sears Tower right there. Is that being foreclosed? Of course not. All they would do is sell some bonds, and a mysterious investor would come in and rescue them at the last minute. It's definitely not the Sears Tower, but let's zoom in and see what's going on in Chicago. Uh-oh, it looks like I zoomed in a little too far. Nobody is foreclosing on these right here. They'll probably tear them down and haul them away or make a move. Well, let's take a look at this article today. Foreclosure wave sweeping U.S. crest in Chicago. How bad is it? Chicago leads the country in a nationwide wave of spiking foreclosures, almost a year after the eviction moratoriums end. So do we have an eviction wave and a foreclosure wave? Well, according to Adam Data Solutions, Chicago is leading the nation amid a national surge in foreclosure rates. Chicagoans are currently losing their homes in greater numbers than in any other metro area in the country. Over 50,000 properties entered foreclosure in the first quarter of this year. That's up 67% from the previous quarter and up 188% from a year ago. Now, how does that compare to nationally? Well, we have spoken about this, but let's revisit this real quick out of Adam Data Solutions. U.S. foreclosure activity, first quarter of this year. Nationally, we are up 132% from a year ago. Now, remember, a year ago, foreclosures were at record lows because of the moratoriums in place and the repayment, aka rescue programs. But there's a lot more in the pipeline. If you look at including pending foreclosures, we're up 181% over 1 year ago. So it appears this train is just starting to roll. And let's take a look at a chart here. This is national foreclosures. Of course, we saw the big drop, of course, when they implemented the foreclosure freeze. And now here we are ticking up quite a bit, and we're still below pre-pandemic. But will this tick up and stop to where it was pre-pandemic? Or is this the beginning of a much larger surge higher in foreclosures? Well, what else is up in Chicago? Well, not home prices. Home prices are down. In Chicago, the month of April, home prices are down, not just from the previous month, down year over year. The median home price in Chicago in April was $370,000. That's down 1% from a year earlier. Not a huge drop, but prices aren't going up and prices are falling in Chicago. Is this the canary in the coal mine for the rest of the country? But nationally, home prices are still up over 15% year over year. Well, what's happening in Chicago that's different from the rest of the country? Well, one thing is Illinois has some of the highest taxes in the country, property taxes. So should we expect other high tax states to follow suit very soon? States like New Jersey and California, very high tax states also. Chicago's such a beautiful place. I couldn't imagine why new buyers wouldn't be lining up to buy all these homes that are getting foreclosed. And with all the price increases over the past few years up until now, how come these home owners that are getting foreclosed, how come they didn't have equity to sell the home and still turn a profit? Well, the answer could be that these people that are getting foreclosed, they took out home equity lines of credit. And also a lot of these could have been people that bought just in the past year or two, so they don't have a lot of equity. Also, a lot of investors that bought these as second homes or investment homes were hit very hard when the eviction moratoriums were in place because they couldn't collect rent, but at the same time they couldn't evict their tenants. So now we're likely seeing the consequences of that process where landlords were basically handcuffed. Now we know Illinois, very high property taxes, high foreclosures in Chicago, and that's spreading. Other states, though, with the highest foreclosure rates following Illinois, New Jersey, and Ohio. But just because the numbers are up over last year by 100% or more doesn't mean that it's that bad yet. For example, nationwide, only 1 in every 1,795 housing units had a foreclosure filing in the first quarter. Now, in contrast, in Illinois, 1 in every 791 housing units had a foreclosure filing. Still very, very low. Less than 1%. Now let's go back in time a little bit and look at foreclosure filings. Let's go back to housing bubble 2007-2008, and we see these quarterly filings. There were quarters back then where foreclosures were over 900,000. And now we look to the most recent quarter here, 2022, we're still under 100,000. So we have a long ways to go to get back to where we were in that previous housing bubble. But please let me know what you think. Is this the start of the foreclosure wave? If you think yes, it is the start of the foreclosure wave and that Chicago is just the beginning of what we're going to see nationally, please let me know down in comments. Or do you think the Fed's going to reverse course, the economic engineers, the market makers, they're just going to cut rates, implement new rescue programs to prevent foreclosures, ramp up the 40-year mortgages, and lenders ramping up the adjustable rate mortgages to try to keep people in their homes? Or is the cost of living just too much no matter how much they try to rescue the market with these fancy financing schemes? It's too late to save it because people are so broke and they're spending so much money elsewhere that it's not going to help the housing market. Hope you like this report today. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like these updates. Big love to all of you. See you soon. Peace.